In the stock market, Jamaica, Trinidad, and Barbados stock market all saw a decline. Legacy introduces Ease Invest, Troy Gabb on the business of sports, and Nubia Ramirez as our Innovator of the Week. I'm Destiny Wagner, and this is Legacy Markets. Good night and welcome to Legacy Markets. I will be your host for a weekly show, the newest source for intelligent and unbiased coverage of money, business, and the economy, both at home and in the Caribbean region. We will be looking at ours and the region's tech industry in the segment Tech Bites with our special contributor, Janine Hamilton. And we will have weekly discussions on the synergy of business and sports. We now turn to our analyst and co-host, Abby, for the weekly business headlines and the latest news on the Caribbean stock markets.
The Jamaican Stock Exchange Index declined by 1% from the previous trading week. The top two winners were Stanley Motor Limited, which was up by 13%, and we also had Sagicor Select Funds Limited, which was also up by 11%. Our top two losers were Ep-1 Preferred Shares, which was down by 12%, and Productive Business Solutions Limited, which was down by 11%. Moving on to the headline news in Jamaica, former CEO of Nokia Solutions and Network, Rajiv Suri, has been appointed chairman of Digicel Group in Jamaica. The Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange declined by 62 basis points from the previous trading week. The top two winners were LJ Williams Limited, which was up by 7%, and Trinidad Cement Limited, which was up by 2%. Our top two losers were Prestige Holdings Limited, which was down by 3%, and we also have the West Indian Tobacco Company Limited, which was down by 3%. Moving on to the headline news in Trinidad and Tobago, for the third quarter of 2023, Trinidad Cement Limited reported a net income growth to 44.2 million Trinidadian dollars. Basic earnings per share also saw a growth of 8%, reaching to 12 cents per share. And in Barbados, the Minister of Energy and Business Senator Lisa Cummins disclosed that many Barbadians are trying to get on the grid. And as such, the government is committed to increasing the capacity from 89 megawatts to 200 megawatts. This competitive procurement will guarantee the best energy price solution for Bajans. For the stocks, the Barbados Stock Exchange declined by 9 basis points from the previous trading week. There was no stock that advanced at the end of the trading week, and only one stock declined at the end of the trading week. That was Emerald Deposit Receipt, which was down by 25%. Now coming closer to us at home, the 5-year average return for public securities in Belize stands at 3.7%. Moving on to our domestic bank rates, as of September 2023, mortgage rates stood at 6.9%. This is an increase of 25 basis points from a year ago. Now, on the other hand, term deposits declined by 6 basis points to 2%.
Thanks, Abby. Now, for a brief commercial, but when we return, we will talk Tech Bites.
Welcome to City Pulse by your Belize City Council. Join us on an exciting journey through the heart of Belize City, where we showcase the transformative initiatives shaping our resilient community. Our commitment to the people is unwavering, and our city's progress is built on solid foundations. At the beginning of this year, we pledged to rehabilitate 90 streets. Proudly, we've completed 71 streets, or 36,431 linear feet, which accounts for an impressive 78% of our commitment. The Council has made significant progress. Among these, 23 have been concreted, 26 have undergone rehabilitation using the chip and seal method, and an additional 22 streets have been further enhanced, being filled or topped up with materials such as hardcore or all-in, demonstrating our commitment to improving our city's infrastructure. But we're not stopping there. We've identified 41 more streets that need our attention. We are projected to meet 100% of our 90-street commitment 2 months ahead of schedule, accounting for an unprecedented 54,829 plus linear feet of road rehabilitation completed within the last 10 months. This transformation is fueled by a $6.9 million budget allocation, with 59% coming from municipal papers, 41% from the council's operations, and support from our valued partners. Stay connected with City Pulse and witness the journey of a brighter, more connected Belize City. We're committed to your future. This People's United Party City Council is always about the people.
Our special contributor is Janine Hamilton, the Chief Technology Officer at Legacy Fund Limited, whose area of expertise is in design, technology, and product development. Today, she will tell you about Ease Invest, a securities trading platform. Businesses, brokerages, and investors connect to trade and manage available securities in Belize's market. Brokerages can seamlessly onboard clients, while issuers have an online platform to visit IPOs. Investors, aided by brokers, can easily buy and trade securities, ensuring a fluid and intuitive experience. So, welcome, Janine. This is quite an important platform for us here. So, can you tell us a little bit more about Ease Investment?
Sure, Destiny, thanks for having me. So Ease Invest is a digital ecosystem for trading securities. And the reason why I say a digital ecosystem is because we're bringing all the stakeholders together so that they can transact in one location. I'm talking about from the issuers of an IPO to the brokers who are selling these securities, and also the investors investing in them. The reason why it's important for us to have it now, though, is because our securities market has been unregulated, and now we're moving into a regulated space. What does that mean? It simply means that we will now have a retail market, and that is what Legacy is pushing for. They've been pioneering this movement. With the retail market, it means that you and I will have the opportunity to invest in the Belize stock market. Traditionally, when there's an IPO, you would have bigger institutions, bigger entities such as credit unions and insurance companies and so on. They would invest in it. It would not be open to us. And so now we're leveling the playing field so that everyone can be a part of it.
Okay, that sounds like an amazing platform. I am curious, and I'm sure our viewers are curious as well, who are the primary stakeholders and how are they going to be interacting within this ecosystem?
The primary stakeholders, let me start with the issuers. So that would be a company, a business who would put out an IPO. They're looking for funding, and so they would use our desktop software to do so. They also normally have a fiscal agent or a custodian. That's the entity that would manage the sales of the securities or the trade of the ownership of the securities. They also access our platform using our desktop app as well. From there, you have the brokerages. They would have either an independent financial officer who would go out as their sales agent and get clients onboarded for them, or they would do it themselves. A client can contact a brokerage and they can open an investment account. And from there, the client is then able to start investing in these stock options.
It sounds like ultimately it's going to be an easier way for everyday people to invest.
Yes, that's correct.
And I'm sure that it required a lot of late nights and sleepless nights. So can you tell us a bit more about some of the problems and difficulties that you have faced in creating the platform, and if you foresee any challenges in the future?
Sure. Challenges, we have had a few, starting with just trying to understand what we were building or what we are building. This is not something that has been done before in Belize. We do not have a blueprint for it. So it's really to understand what is being done manually, since that's a process right now, and we move to automate all of that. So I think that was the biggest challenge for us to understand how everything works. The other challenge was really to understand the limitations within our technological landscape here in Belize, meaning we're having a system that connects all players. However, it has been difficult trying to make that work, so we've had to really problem solve, knock on some doors, and get really creative with how we can connect all of these players. Other challenges, those are the main ones, but I think moving forward, as we do enter into the market, I think the biggest challenge we will have, which I think is the challenge with all technology products in the country, would be adaptation. You know, getting people to use it, to understand the benefits of what it provides, getting also issuers. We have, I think it's like 30,000 businesses registered in the country. And traditionally, we would access financing, which is what all business need to survive. We would access financing by going to a lending institution. Now we're looking to open up the playing field for businesses to be able to access alternative financing through this medium. And also investors, again, like you and I, we would be able to invest in small amounts, you know, maybe $100, $10, fractional shares, and so on. And we would be able to invest in startups and also big companies that have been out there for years, and we'll be able to really capitalize on their growth as well.
I completely agree, and I think this platform is going to change the way many Belizeans and people of the Caribbean view investing, and hopefully they'll get to learn more about the markets as well. Yeah. But there has been a rumor that you have other projects that you are currently working on. Can you give us a bit of a teaser?
We do have other projects, but I do need to know who has been spreading this rumor. So we have some other projects that we've been working on for small businesses, trying to get them on board with e-commerce as well. So yeah, that's just a little teaser I'm going to give. But as we move forward, I'll be sure to come back again and talk a little bit more about the other stuff that we're doing.
Well, thank you, Janine. And I'm sure that the tech team is arduously working on the success of Ease Invest, and we know we can look forward to more updates on the projects as the week goes by. We will take a little break, and when we return, Abby will be jumping into the business of sports, so don't go away.
Welcome to City Pulse by your Belize City Council. Join us on an exciting journey through the heart of Belize City, where we showcase the transformative initiatives shaping our resilient community. Our commitment to the people is unwavering, and our city's progress is built on solid foundations. At the beginning of this year, we pledged to rehabilitate 90 streets. Proudly, we've completed 71 streets, or 36,431 linear feet, which accounts for an impressive 78% of our commitment. The Council has made significant progress. Among these, 23 have been concreted, 26 have undergone rehabilitation using the chip and seal method, and an additional 22 streets have been further enhanced, being filled or topped up with materials such as hardcore or all-in, demonstrating our commitment to improving our city's infrastructure. But we're not stopping there. We've identified 41 more streets that need our attention. We are projected to meet 100% of our 90 street commitment 2 months ahead of schedule, accounting for an unprecedented 54,829 plus linear feet of road rehabilitation completed within the last 10 months. This transformation is fueled by a $6.9 million budget allocation, with 59% coming from municipal papers, 41% from the Council's operations, and support from our valued partners. Stay connected with City Pulse and witness the journey of a brighter, more connected Belize City. We're committed to your future. This People's United Party City Council is always about the people.
Welcome back. On September 2023, FIBA ranked Belize men's basketball 121 out of 213 countries in the world, down 2 rankings from the previous year. But it has had some international success over the past 25 years. There was the 1998 CARICOM Championship in Belize, the Central American Games Championship in 2001, and Belize also placed second in the 2009 COCABA. And in January 2023, the Belize Elite Basketball League, formerly known as the National Elite Basketball League, had its first game with the start off with 8 teams. Sitting with us to discuss sports business, we welcome Mr. Troy Gabb. In 1992, with the start of the Semi-Pro Basketball League, Troy Gabb Sr. served as its first operations manager, managing the entire competition until 1999. Serving for 7 years and then retiring in 2006. In 2019, the Orange Walk Running Rebels, a semi-pro basketball league, approached him to take up a share of the ownership. Under his ownership guidance, the 2023 campaign was the best season for the team, winning 10 games and getting to the playoffs. Presently, Mr. Gabb is preparing the Rebels to participate in the 2024 Belize Elite Basketball League tournament. Mr. Troy Gabb Sr. served as the Vice Chairman of the National Sports Council from 2006 to 2008 and is now a current member of the NSC since 2020. So, Mr. Gabb, welcome.
It's good to be here.
Yes. So first of all, we know that the Belize Basketball Federation is the representation of FIBA in Belize. Could you tell us what's the relationship between the Belize Basketball Federation and the league?
Yeah, again, thanks Abigail, and it's quite an honor to be here to discuss the business of basketball. The Belize Basketball Federation is the governing body of basketball in Belize. The Belize Elite Basketball League is a member of the federation, but technically the federation is the boss of basketball in Belize. And the Elite Basketball, even though we operate at an elevated level, we are still a member of the federation. The same way the National Basketball League, NBA in the United States, is a member of US Basket in the United States, which is the governing body of basketball in the United States.
Okay, that's
the technical relation, but the Belize Basketball Federation is the overarching body.
Okay, understood. Next question. The Belize Elite Basketball League was formerly known as the National Elite Basketball League. Could you tell us why the name change?
Yeah, the owners at the time felt that when we got together in 2023, that we need to be more representative of Belize. Even though it says national in there, we felt that when you hear the word about the Semi-Pro Basketball League, you want to associate it directly with Belize. And so we decided to do a slight name change by changing it from the National Elite Basketball League, which is the NEBL, to BEBL. So we removed the national and replaced it with Belize. And so we believe it's more recognizable as a league. So because we also attract international players to our league, we want them to actually, when they say where they're playing, it actually says Belize. So I'm playing in the Belize Elite Basketball League, so they know it's our country that they're actually playing in.
So it really gives us representation.
Absolutely, and recognition.
Moving on, Mr. Gabb, how would you describe the level of success and the competition of this inaugural season?
This season was a pretty good season, actually, especially for my team, the Orange Walk Running Rebels. The Rebels have been around since 2014, and they haven't been able to reach a playoff since then. So this year, by ending as the #1 seeded team in the tournament and getting to the playoff is actually a significant milestone for the team. But overall, the whole advent of basketball coming off the COVID lockdown was actually very surprising. The turnout was exceptional. It shows that the Belizean fans were ready for basketball, and we hope that the 2024, and we look forward to the 2024 to be even greater. But yes, there was an extremely good appetite from our fans during the 2023 campaign.
It's amazing, and I'm pretty sure we look forward to next year's season.
Yes, definitely. I'm excited about it. I think all the players are, the fans are. We saw a whole new advent of the mentality of our fans, the loyalty. They wanted to have T-shirts, paraphernalia, horns, all these things, flags, clappers, all these things started to come into the game, which is representative of how it is handled internationally.
Yes.
We see our people who are gravitating towards that level.
Okay. Moving to some controversy. There was some controversy last season regarding Kirk Smith Jr. and the team's owners. And it was where Kirk Smith Jr. was accused of signing 2 contracts with 2 teams. And because of the dual signing, Smith was considered ineligible to play. This matter was later resolved, but how can the league prevent events such as these from derailing its development?
Yeah, it's important you brought up that point, because that has always been a perennial problem that we face on a continuous basis. Even when I was commissioner of the league as well, I had several cases I had to adjudicate. But I guess with the advent of social media, certainly bring a lot of these things to the forefront. But they were as egregious as it was then, and now it was then. So yes, it is a problem. But what we have done, especially now this year, we have changed the format of how we are going to approach a league. Before, we were all individual teams. Like last year, or the 2023 campaign, we were all individual teams trying to win. So we didn't have a relationship as partners. But in essence, we are. You're looking at a league that generates over $1.2 million a year. When you really look at the amount of sponsorship and fan attendance combined, it is a relatively large company, for that matter. So what we have done, we decided to pool our resources together as one entity and decide that we'll work as a unit. As opposed to pulling against each other, we try to work as a business. And so now issues like the Kirk Smith situation would be minimized somewhat, because we're going to operate with a salary cap, and we're going to operate in a level of transparency. So where the commissioner acts as a chairman of the board, and then we as owners are now the board of directors, and so we work as a unit, so we can't be trying to pull against each other, otherwise we are going to destroy our own company. So we are hoping that is going to be a formula that is going to minimize the amount of problems that we'll be having with the players double signing. But it has happened several times before.
It's great to see that you guys are making an effort to solve this problem.
Well, just to quickly interject is that we want to treat it as a business, and since that this is a business discussion and business show, basketball is a business. Even when we were operating individually, every single person who participated, for argument's sake, we have about 30 or 40 persons employed almost full time during the time of the season, plus an additional 30 or 40 when game time. So there are people who are making money from basketball outside of the vendors and hair braiders and salons and boutiques and so on. So it's an entire industry.
Something else that I would like to ask, do you think that maybe Mr. Kirk Smith's episode could possibly be showing a weakness in player representation?
The players have always sort of stood by themselves for some period of time.
Yes.
And this is what the league is trying to do, is to make the players more involved in the discussion. And so that they could feel more a part, as opposed to just coming to play for a team. You will have the opportunity now where you could sign for long-term contracts and long-term arrangements. So the players would have a much more stable situation. Teams would be more stable as well. And fans would be able to follow a team knowing that the players aren't going to be changing from one year to the next. So
Yeah.
yes, it's going to create more stability, and the players are going to have more of a stable environment.
Okay. My other question would be, what would be the right way to measure the success or growth of the league? Is it through revenues or is it through attendance?
It's a combination. We have to look at our sponsors. We have to look at things like television rights at some point in time, and then also our fan attendance, and to some extent memorabilia like T-shirts and other components. Yeah, so it is a wide gamut that we have to elevate towards. Before, it was just basically fan attendance and whatever little sponsorship you have. And if you win the championship, that's a successful year. But you may have lost money in doing that. Because in the past, we had some significant owners, for argument's sake. We had people who had the means to be in the league. I can recall Santino's, Tony Habet from Pentel Lakers, Tony Leslie owning Jajam. You had Paulo Silva, Photolab. These were all people who are still wealthy businessmen, as I know it now.
Yeah.
And they weren't able to sustain being in the league for an extended period of time. So what we're trying to do is to create sustainability and viability. And if we can do those two things together, then the league is going to be around for a long, long time.
Okay. Well, Mr. Gabb, thank you for joining us, and we hope we get to see you again soon.
Certainly, and certainly glad to be here, and I want to thank you for at least discussing the whole issue of basketball as a business and sports on a whole, because it is a business. It creates some level of income generation for persons who are involved.
Okay. We'll be right back with more, so don't go away.
Welcome to City Pulse by your Belize City Council. Join us on an exciting journey through the heart of Belize City, where we showcase the transformative initiatives shaping our resilient community. Our commitment to the people is unwavering, and our city's progress is built on solid foundations. At the beginning of this year, we pledged to rehabilitate 90 streets. Proudly, we've completed 71 streets, or 36,431 linear feet, which accounts for an impressive 78% of our commitment. The Council has made significant progress. Among these, 23 have been concreted, 26 have undergone rehabilitation using the chip and seal method, and an additional 22 streets have been further enhanced, being filled or topped up with materials such as hardcore or all-in, demonstrating our commitment to improving our city's infrastructure. But we're not stopping there. We've identified 41 more streets that need our attention. We are projected to meet 100% of our 90 street commitment 2 months ahead of schedule, accounting for an unprecedented 54,829 plus linear feet of road rehabilitation completed within the last 10 months. This transformation is fueled by a $6.9 million budget allocation, with 59% coming from municipal papers, 41% from the Council's operations, and support from our valued partners. Stay connected with City Pulse and witness the journey of a brighter, more connected Belize City. We're committed to your future. This People's United Party City Council is always about the people.
Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in to the Legacy Business Show. Each week, this segment will showcase a Belizean entrepreneur making significant waves in the Belizean economy. These are forward-thinking individuals who are pushing boundaries and breaking barriers. Abby, tell us more.
This week, we delve into the life of the BPO industry in Belize. Business process outsourcing, or BPOs, has been a booming industry in the region. Recently, Ms. Nubia Ramirez announced the economic development of Tangriga by opening a BPO in that southern municipality. This should see 500 persons employed in the first 6 months. The BPO industry has become the second largest employer in the country. Welcome, Ms. Ramirez. And thank you for taking some time to speak with us. First, I'd like to say congratulations on your new branch. So let's talk about why you chose Dangriga as your branch.
Thank you for the invite. We were approached by the government due to the unemployment rate in Dangriga. This is our location number 9. So we went to do some interviews. We found out that there were people over there able to provide the English that we were looking for, as well as people who are bilingual. That is something that we definitely need for some of our customers. So we decided to take the challenge. Besides, and there was some government support. They were already having some training sessions with some of the young population over there. And we just decided to take the challenge and go and open an operation over there since April. So we were working throughout these months to put everything together, the building, the people, the training and everything. And we finally were able to open the operation over there with 150 people and with the plan to go to 500 people in less than 6 months.
Sounds like good news for Dangriga. Ms. Ramirez, let's talk numbers. What are the financial implications of this new branch that it has on your company, but also the financial implications that it has on the country?
Well, the BPO industry is this kind of business that definitely creates a whole change of economic development in a community. It's not just the jobs that are created directly, but it's all the economy around. Because at the same time that we are operating, we are using the services of the telecommunications company, the electricity company, all kind of supplies for cleaning, for office supplies. So we are developing indirectly additional jobs and movements in the economy. So we will be able to bring additional resources to the community directly by us offering the service to our clients, but at the same time we are doing investments and recurrent investments in the community when we are keeping the operation running in a specific location.
It sounds like great news for the country. My next question would be, is it safe to say that we can expect to see more branches opening up in the country? And also, what would be the implication of having more branches be opened?
Well, at this point, we are located in 4 different districts, in Cayo, Ranchuac, Belize City, and Dangriga. So definitely our plan is to continue expanding countrywide. Maybe the next location might be Punta Gorda or Corozal, but it all depends also that we can find all the elements that are needed for us to be able to run an operation.
Okay, great. I know that you are a pioneer in the BPO industry, and I'm sure it has brought many challenges, legally, economically, but could you talk about the bigger economic challenges that you have faced in this industry?
Well, I believe the company has been here for 18 years already.
Wow.
So of course, I believe that there has been changes, of course, throughout all of these years. The challenges that we faced at the beginning are completely different right now because, of course, when we came to Belize, it was just the first BPO operation. Nobody really knew the business. The labor laws in Belize never has changed really throughout all of these years. So we have to negotiate a lot of the challenges with the different ministers and see how we were able to have really the business running. Now the situation has changed a lot. There are a lot of players in the BPO industry. Now we are having different challenges. Now we are even facing saturation challenges in some of the areas due to the concentration of the companies, mostly here in Belize City or Belmopan or Cayo. So the challenges has changed, but throughout all of this process, we have been getting as well the support of the government to face those challenges in a positive way.
Thank you. My next question now, we know that there's been this rapid development in the BPO industry. What are the challenges that you see that can hurt the sustainability of this industry?
Well, because of the number of players at this point, definitely the country needs to be ready for to provide the labor pool that is needed, because it's not just to open an operation and put an amount of employees, but it's how you can really maintain that size. because you will hire people, but of course they are going to stay with the company. It doesn't matter really what is the business for maybe a couple years, and then you need to continue feeding constantly that number of people. So preparing the correct number of people to sustain the industry is one of the challenges. The second one is to try to avoid the concentration as well, because if everybody would like to be in Belize City, it's going to be difficult that all companies are able to hire the number of people that we need to be able to provide the service to the clients outside. So I believe that is one of the biggest challenges that we are facing right now to ensure the sustainability of the business. Besides that, now we have seen a different environment, because originally it was basically about 15 players. Now we have seen a lot of companies that are not even registered in Belize who are offering jobs here in Belize. So they are a part of the players, but they are not really registered here in Belize. So it's a competition that we are having that we don't know what really is the plan for it. And if we don't have the correct regulation to put some kind of a legal framing to that, that can create a problem in the future for the industry.
So there really needs to be some intervention in place. Do you see a bigger role for the government to create better standards for this industry?
Definitely. And we have been working with them. We have been raising the flags already about some of these situations that are happening with the industry, because as you mentioned, we grow very rapidly. So of course that our conditions were not really ready, especially after COVID. All our companies really were growing. So this is the correct time to work together with the government so that we can put the correct legal system in place to kind of put some rules, limitations. Of course, we are getting some benefits, but at the same time, we need to have some additional responsibilities from all parties so that the industry is having a healthy growth.
Yeah, and to have it be regulated.
Correct.
Okay. We know that you are a member of the BPO Association, actually the president. So my question is, how has this association helped this new industry in Belize, and what role do you see the association playing in combating the challenges that you have faced so far?
Well, definitely when we noticed that we were having all of these kind of ongoing challenges, we decided to work together. We were informally working together already, some of us, but we decided to just sit and take, the challenges under our responsibility. So we created the association with some of the existing BPOs, and we have been working together with the government. So some of these challenges might have to be work with the labor minister or with the Minister of Affairs or with the different minister offices. So we have been creating committees and working together on specific matters that we consider are the priority at this point. Since we cannot fix everything, at least we are trying to address whatever issue that we see that is a priority for the sector.
Yeah, a real effort towards helping this industry.
Correct.
So, Ms. Ramirez, it is a pleasure to have this conversation with you. And we can continue having this conversation soon, but unfortunately, we are running out of time. So I would like to say a big thank you, and we are looking forward to good news from the Radical Center.
Thank you so much for the invite.
Okay, Destiny?
And that's it for today's show. Remember to join us weekly on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. for another episode of Legacy Markets. For now, we want to say good night, and remember, together we create a legacy of a better world. Bye.